Yo, what is up folks, MTG here, and today we're taking a look at a new Dredge build for Explorer. That's the Pioneer equivalent format on MTG Arena, and we're spicing it up a little bit. I made a similar video for Timeless a few weeks ago, but basically what we're trying to do here is take Dredge, which is a powerful deck in that it has some very incredible draws, but like a little inconsistency. You're playing off the top of your library, and then also it has some weaknesses post-board, where your opponent's going to have graveyard hate. Sometimes they have graveyard hate in the main deck, and we're mitigating that by basically jamming an extra combo in here. And a combo that's very synergistic with the deck. So we're taking Vein Ripper and Sorin Imperious Bloodlord and putting them into a blue-black Dredge shell. Obviously, hey, you got this combo here. We have ways to dig for it. We've got Otherworldly Gaze on our deck. We've got Tigam Scheming up here. These are both cards we're using to mill ourselves, but they can also help you find and dig for a piece of the combo to try and assemble Sorin Vein Ripper on turn 3. And then also, Sorin has some awesome synergy with other cards in the deck. Silversmote Ghoul in particular, Sorin says +1, give a creature death touch and lifelink if it's a vampire up. So one counter on it. Okay, that's neat. The main thing is you can sacrifice a vampire. When you do, Sorin deals 3 damage to any target and you gain 3 life. And Silversmote Ghoul is a vampire. Not only is it a vampire, but if you gain 3 or more life in a turn, you return it from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. You can use Sorin to trigger Silversmote Ghouls in your graveyard. You can use Sorin to fling them at your opponent and then bring them all back from your graveyard. You can also use it to gain a bunch of life here and make these big if you want to. Silversmote Ghoul also has some random synergy with Vein Ripper. Vein Ripper has a death trigger on it whenever a creature dies. Target opponent loses 2 life, you gain 2 life. Silversmote Ghoul, you can sacrifice it to draw a card. Trigger here. Do some draining. If you've drained another 2 life that turn, you also get to bring the Silversmote Ghoul back. Pretty nice synergy, Around that, we have a pretty traditional Dredge shell. We have 8 1-mana enablers, 2 Stitches Supply, as I think it's the worst here. Murphy Secret Keeper gives you 4 cards. You can also cast it off of Founding the Third Path. So this is the most cards for mana that we have on Arena. Otherworldly Gaze, surveil you with Flashback to use again out of your graveyard. Really important for helping to fix your draws. Really important to help you dig for the combo, and kind of filter to get the cards that you want in your graveyard and the cards that you want in your hand. One thing about Otherworldly Gaze in particular is if you're playing on Arena, make sure to try and set stops on your upkeep. I'll probably miss it at least once this video where I'm like, oh, actually, I should have set a stop there. But hey. Founding the Third Path. Engine card for the deck. Has 3 steps that are all pretty relevant. First step, you can cast an instant sorcery spell with mana value 1 or 2 from your hand that pay its mana cost. You can cast Otherworldly Secret Keeper or Otherworldly Gaze. If you have multiple of these and you play one on turn 1, hey, you can cast the other one on turn 2 off of this while still playing the Founding the Third Path out, getting on some mana there. You can also cast Tigam Scheming off of it. Tigam Scheming is just straight up Surveil 5, helps you dig for a bunch of stuff, helps you get cards in your graveyard. In Pioneer, we would play Breaking and Entering, which is just straight 8 cards into the graveyard, is the most milling you can do for a single card, for yourself anyway, in the format, and so hey. But then Founding does some other stuff as well. The second step is just a straight up mill 4 cards. So if you don't have something to play, you can just play it on step 2. And the third step, target instant sorcery in your graveyard gets, well, you exile it and you can cast a copy. You can recast Gaze, you can recast Scheming, nice. Again, post-board, or if you want to change the list up a little bit, you can play Hand Disruption spells. It makes any, Hand Disruption, Thoughtseize, Duress that you put into really powerful. Similarly, Fatal Push is a card that occasionally you would sideboard in to deal with some creature matchups. So hey, it makes all your sideboard cards a lot better. At 3, we have our kind of, Narcomoeba, of course, but Narcomoeba is more related to our 3 drops. So Prize Amalgam, creature comes back from your graveyard, you get to bring the Amalgam back. Narcomoeba, when you mill it, obviously that's what we're trying to do. Hey, comes into play for free, triggers Prize Amalgam. Silversmote Ghoul comes back from the graveyard, you gain 3 more life in a turn, and the primary way to do that is Creeping Shell. When you mill it, you drain your opponent for 3, bring back Ghoul. We can also bring it back with Sorin. Vein Ripper can also, depending on the triggers and stuff. And yeah, all very solid. Yeah, Sorin Vein Ripper gives you another angle of attack here, which a Dredge doesn't normally have access to. It's a strategy that also sees your graveyard. It also insulates you versus some of the wrath in the format. As versus blue-white and stuff, you can sometimes assemble a board, put some damage on, but then they wrath you. Pack it up. Sometimes. And Vein Ripper basically says, hey, look, wrath me, I dare you. You're gonna lose the game. And so that's really good. And it's just a massive beast. Yeah, and it's hard to deal with. Obviously, the ward tower as a creature is pretty tough sometimes, and is going to gain you some life and drain your opponent out. 18 lands, Very, very straightforward. 4 water grave, 4 underground weather, 4 dark shores, 4 clear water pathway, 1 attack limit, 1 Otawara. I have cast Vein Ripper off this man base in testing. You sometimes get games that go to like pretty long, but generally, hey, you're not likely to get to 6 mana here. We do have Otherworldly Gaze, Tag 'em Scheming to help control our draws. Like, we don't want to play loads of lands in the deck. You could play a basic in here just to insulate yourself a little bit versus Field of Ruin. It's fine. You really, really want to be able to cast the black spells and blue spells when you need them and have the right sources. You're predominantly a blue deck that's splashing black, awesome cards. So if you want to lean one way, I would play Basic Island, but that's just me. I mean, playing some best of 1 here. I did have talked a little bit about how like there's some awesome options for best of 3. The Phantom Third Paths make cool. Thoughtseize is amazing. The Vein Ripper Sorin package is a lot better versus Graveyard Hate. However, we're playing on Arena. We have the option to play best of 1. And that way we don't have to deal with the Graveyard Hate at all. And so, hey, we're going to test out, see how good the Vein Ripper Sorin build of Dredge is without kind of that sideward upside for the time being. And yeah, let's get into the matches. If you're not already, please do subscribe to the channel. And yeah, let's go. Alright, first match here. Yeah, I made the Timeless video a little while ago. I wanted to give like a little break before I did the Explorer version. Timeless, you also have Blood Gas, which synergizes super well with the Sorin package as well. Again, you can sacrifice the vampires, come back. It's all gravy. But here angle. Double Sorin. We've only got the Founding as an enabler to start with, and the Silversmote Ghoul in hand. We should put this back, try and find something a little bit better. Not gonna mulligan super hard for show and tell combo, but just like, hey, no 1-drop enabler, very little enabling, double Sorin and a Moat Ghoul, and just like you're already on a mulligan. This has not gone a lot better. We have a Vein Ripper. I think it's still worth going to 5. We're on the draw. Alright. Well, we have a black source. So we're gonna keep this. This is an awkward hand for sure. So keeping Gaze. We don't have a way to shuffle a library in this format either. Which is why keeping the Prize Amalgam in hand is fine. It's gonna be on the bottom line, but it's not doing anything anyway. And we keep this, just hope we draw well. A bit of a rough start. I mean, our hand has a ton of upside if we draw a blue source. Alright. Otherworld Gazing main here. The reason why is that if we hit... yeah, I'll just leave Scheming on top. That lets us then use that. We can use this to find our 3rd land, and then also try and get some Dredge synergy on. We've got an Amalgam in the graveyard already, but it's already got to be a little bit worried. But yeah, sorry. The Otherworld Game's main phase because Silversmote Ghoul, nice. Only triggers on your turn, not your opponent's. Yeah, and the Scheming. We found a land. I'm gonna actually leave a Founding under the... do we want to leave Founding under Ghoul? I don't think we do actually, because you probably want to upkeep the Otherworldly Gaze after we do this. We're a little unfortunate not to hit like another, like any of our other Dredge cards here, but I think it's okay. So they are playing, like a mono red deck with, I guess Khan's banned now, so I don't know what the payoff is here. Normally you'd expect to see Fires of the Yavimaya, not Fires of the Yavimaya, Fires of Invention, and some other stuff. Hey, Challenger, Torches of Violence, still solid.
This'll be easy.
Ow. Alright. We're gonna go ahead and make our own Ripper. Let's set the upkeep stop now so I don't forget. We're going to upkeep this Otherworldly Gaze. Depending on what they do, we might end up just like untapping and casting Prize Amalgam anyway, but hey. If they don't have a clean answer to this, which is fairly likely, we can use it to swing at Chandra, bring Silversmote Ghoul back, bring Prize Amalgam back on and step that insulates us a little bit in case they have some kind of Wrath or Exile effect. This also doing 4 damage and not 5 is huge. Land is going to come straight in our face. Okay, Cavaliers should be fairly expected. I think we do want to gaze here. The actual secret to Dredge is that anytime that you would... Oh, this is auto-tapper nonsense. But it's fine. We'll still keep the Murphy Secret rolls up. We'll draw that for next time. Anytime that you have the opportunity to otherworldly gaze and you don't, there's always something that you want in your graveyard on top of your deck, and you draw it. Let's go ahead and give the Vayner a lifelink. Okay, this can represent a lot of damage. I'm gonna come at Chandra because they're on 17. We're not killing them this turn. Fine.
Whatever. Figure it out on your own.
Cavalier is like... We're unlikely to die here to this, but the ability to give things haste is pretty spicy. So need to be a little bit wary. It's a lot worse without a Fires, as mentioned in play, to be honest, because Fires lets you cheat the mana and then use the mana to pump it to Cavalier. Okay, it's the second Cavalier here. We're gonna have a very high low total, but hit offering. We're seeing what else is going on. Anger of the Gods. Yeah, this all makes sense. Previously, this deck would play Khan the Great Creator, do some Khan stuff. And Cavalier does X damage to each opponent, each Planeswalker will exit them. Okay. I don't really want to mess with the Cavalier. We could kill it, or we could threaten to kill it, but they have 1, 2, 3 lands in the graveyard. Just enough to kill Sorin on one of these. I think I'm going to pick up on Vayner for gain us the most amount of life here to attack with these. I want to have a Murphy Secret Keeper wall in play. This is coming back anyway, so we don't mind at all. 8, 11, 12, 13. I mean, we're gonna get a death trigger here anyway. We could just randomly hit lethal here. Didn't, but it's fine. Oh, we'll pay a life for this. And step, we get some stuff back. Yeah, just having a look to see what the payoffs they have here. Game's interesting, but okay, they're playing Terror of the Peaks of Fable. Okay, that makes sense. This is a pretty powerful thing to be doing, to be honest. If you've not had a chance to Fable Terror of the Peaks, it's really good. We will declare some blocks. Trigger. Alright, 1 down. Alright, second match. Again, very ugly start. Double Otherworldly Gaze, normally I'd be kind of okay with, but 3 of these in hand is rough. And with the combo, we should definitely put this back and try and find something better. Get an opponent on the play. Yes, I feel fine about keeping. We've got 3 enablers. We keep this. Not going to be on the bottom. Keep Prized Amalgam because we can maybe put into play. Yeah. The Steel Courtyard's a little miserable because that looks like Grease Fang. Have some options here. So, if we had one part of the Sorin combo, I'd probably otherworldly gaze here. But I'm just going to Secret Keeper for the most number of cards, biggest chance to hit something good. Oh, that's pretty great. We hit an Archimever with a Creeping Chill and a Silversmote Ghoul. Okay. That's a good example of why we would otherworldly gaze on our turn. So if we hit those cards, the Silversmote Ghoul comes back. If we hit them on our opponent's end step, don't. Ooh, okay. I thought this was going to be Grease Fang. It could still be Esper, but Amazon is more popular. We still have Schemings here, but I'm gonna shock this. Maximum number of cards is key, and so we're gonna Secret Keeper into Otherworldly Gaze. See what they have going on. Another Creeping Chill. Okay. And that's another important thing is that Silversmote Ghoul checks for the entire turn when you gain 3 life. Prized Amalgam will only come back if the card enters the graveyard afterwards. In this position, it's kind of interesting. I kind of want to leave Graver on top. You try and fold an alternative angle. We're not, sorry. Go through one Sorin. Maybe a bit loose. We've got double Tigum scheming. I think this is safe. I think with doing this, we should bomb the pathway. Oh, graveyard the pathway. Okay, yeah. It depends how much stuff our opponent does here. My camera is defocused again, apparently. It doesn't like me putting my hand up here and going like a... oh, but seeing me is important. Okay, double gaze here for starting scheming. We'll attack first again. Opponent's not cast a spell yet, which is a little worrying. 1, 2, 3, 8. I think they mulligan once. Is that right? 6, 7, 8. Yeah. And we're gonna go ahead and scheme it. So now, like, untapped land plus Sorin is pretty good. Obviously, any Dredge enabler, pretty solid. But we see someone goes to the graveyard. It's a little bit late. I'm gonna leave untapped land Sorin on top. We can use the untapped land to cast Prized Amalgam or something like that, or Tigum scheming, either way around. And yeah. The logic for not drawing the Sorin first is that if our opponent sees us and sees Bane Ripper, they're kind of likely to leave it there. We don't have an enabler for it. They're probably more worried about the Tigum scheming. But if they see the Sorin, they're obviously going to take that. It vaguely matters. There's only like a 1-turn window before we can cast it, right? Because we wouldn't have the third land otherwise. But hey. Aspect Control. Gyre Sanitarium says they're probably playing Narset. Maybe with Notion Thief and stuff? Okay. That's tough. Let's attack here. I want to draw no cards option. So you can play Notion Thief with Gyre Sanitarium. You can play also with Gyre Sanitarium. I put together out a Grixis video looking at Grixis wheels with the new Jace, using like Jace and Tibalt, but then also using that with Chandra's Defiance. Collective Defiance, which lets you scheming? Yeah, I think we're scheming. Which lets you will your opponent to make them discard their hand. If you've got an Narset in play, or Notion Thief, you get to just draw all the cards. Either of which, really, really good. So still leaving Sorin on top. I'm going to put all these other cards in the graveyard. Just to kind of clear the space for us to find some Dredge stuff. Might as well cast a Secret Keeper. In case there is some nonsense. But yeah. It's an interesting one. Was not expecting it, but Gyre Sanitarium gives us like a little bit of insight here as to what's going on. And it could just be like Esper Control with Narset as well. But yeah. The Wheels deck is very, very sweet. If you've not seen the video on that, I think it's a good video. I think the deck's really cool. Do they have? They're on 5, which is not a lot of life. Likely they have some kind of counter spell. But I'm forced to keep using stuff. I'm going to set a stop for my next upkeep, because we're definitely going to want to cast one of these otherworldly... Well, almost certainly going to want to cast one of these otherworldly gazers. But then, yeah, we'll see what goes on. What is actually going on over there? 15 Shark Typhoon and Deduce. All kinds of different counter spells they can have. Okay. 1 turn 2. There's only 1 turn left in the deck, unfortunately. But they're untapping a lot of cards in hand. We are in we have the 2 other Wonder Gazers kind of set up here, but I don't want to do this. We've used 2 Creeping Chills with graveyard. Any life gained is pretty plus value. A bunch of 2 endings to see. Legitimately. We have amalgam. No, we have 1 amalgam in our graveyard. I'm gonna Founding. You can play this on second step, use it next turn to get a better time scheming. Untap land is actually not too bad for us to hit, so let's just do a few more 2 mana things next turn. But yeah. Plays on step 2. Almost surprised this result. Okay, well, that's also fine, I guess. I'm gonna put this to play. The Secret Keepers aren't gonna matter a ton. The only time they would matter is if we get a Vayner Bridge to play and they have to wrath the board. They're on full life already, it's not really a big deal. Okay. Alright. Deluge turn here is a pretty important swing. We're gonna rely a little bit on our ability to cast multiple spells. Drawing the creep and chill is the most BM thing possible. What's the flashback scheming? This can be cast from hand, to be fair. It's a fun gotcha. Alright. Ooh, scheming hitting Narcomoeba is pretty great. The rest of these I think we can just send to the bin. I'm gonna keep another one of the gaze on top. Alright. They're gonna have to deal with what happens with this Narcomoeba. Assuming they don't have like a dissolve to stop the trigger. They have a tons of wrath. Following which, we'll see what happens. Don't want to accidentally give our opponent a Wandering Emperor angle to gain some life. There's one chill left in the deck. Sure. So Deluge here. Then I have to Wrath. And hold like maybe a counter spell up. It's been a while since I played with Aspect Control. Yeah, fun one. Alright, there is a Verdict. Because we have the other one that goes on top, I'm not gonna flashback and upkeep this. It's unfortunately a fizzled trigger. The Prize of Amalgam already came back, so the one doesn't do it twice. Okay, so I'm gonna bottom these so we can pair the Secret Keeper with something. I'm gonna flashback another one of the guys. And we want to go to this main phase. It's a bit of a weird one. Bit of a counter spell, and that's kind of okay. But a bunch of things we want to try and trigger lands up. The ideal thing here is that we hit. Okay, they're gonna veto this. The ideal situation really is that we hit Creeping Chill on our turn, bring back the Silversmote Ghouls on our end step, and those will trigger Prized Amalgam for their end step, which means they don't get an opportunity to Wrath. It's pretty decent. Alright, no more lives is annoying. I'm gonna go ahead and cast this. 18 cards left on our library. Is an important number. That's the last Sorin gone. I'm gonna say go because I don't want them to be out. It's way better to try and do this trigger even chill on our end step. However, this is on our end step. We should still do this now. You can use it. I don't think if there's anything we can discard that's good. We'll discard Prized Amalgam. Things are looking rough. Basically making them use the mana for no more lives on their turn. Just to give them a little less resources. They still kind of need to counter the other world against. I'll do this now to give them. I think gives them more information, but forces them to use their options without knowing what they're going to get.
An open mind.
Alright, 3 steps ahead is pretty good. That's a counter spell. There's a world here. Okay, 2 things are solid. I'm gonna flash. I'm gonna use the flashback one first because they know that we have this one. They don't know we have the second. This way, they might pay a bunch of mana into 3 steps ahead. Oh. Into 3 steps ahead. Respond with this. See if they have another one. If they have another veto or no more lies, then it's pretty miserable. Do you have another veto? Okay. Let's go with the Vein Ripper. There aren't any more Sorins, we know this. Okay. This is obviously bait. Oh, they get to mill the. They get to the creeping. Oh, we get locked out of the game this turn. Sort of. Alright, they're gonna 3 steps and draw some cards. Yeah, so we get Sanctum's Sanitarium here. We have to discard, can't draw. And then what's gonna happen is that in our upkeep, we're just gonna get Narsighted. Oh well, in our draw step. Do we have any Otherworldly Gaze copies left? I don't think so. Yeah, they're all gone. We are dead. But let's see if they do it. Yeah, they kind of managed to just wipe through everything. Maybe we played like a little too towards the combo here. Yeah, so they're gonna upkeep it, and then we don't get to draw a card. That was a game. That's sweet. That's sweet. Alright, that was a sweet game, even if we lost. It's pretty long, so it's probably going to be the last game of the video. We will mulligan this. And Gaze Path. I think we keep this on 6. Bit of a weird one. Sure. Leave with Watery Grave. See what we hit off of the Gaze here. Just take the 3rd land. That mountain, Creeping Chill's probably good, right? Unfortunately, we know that most of the ghouls on the bottom of the library. We've not actually shown any specifically Dredge cards, though. They could, with the Otherworldly Gaze and Foundings, think we're playing something like a Traxa combo. But... Alright. DPS race. So, we're gonna... Founding... We're going to Gaze off the Founding. See what we hit here. I mean, the Sorin's pretty good. Also means we don't want to... I was going to set us up for the upkeep, but we're not going to do that with this start. Giant being a 5/4 is actually kind of huge. Not going to lie. Millisiful. Oh, double Creeping Chill is like kind of seal things up is pretty nuts. And then surprise. Actually, a Sorin deck. Here's a Vein Ripper. We're back on 21. We have to be a little bit careful. So etching actually is a problematic card for Dredge in that creatures that damage goes to exile instead of graveyard. So you need to be a little bit careful. Strike on Sorin. If they have a monstrous rage here, it could be huge. Kill the attackers. Not attacking with a Burger Giant is crazy, but yeah, we'll tag him here. There's a case for using Otherworldly Gaze. Let's see one more card overall for the turn. Just because we've got ahead. Gosh. The bit. Alright, let's set an upkeep slot for next turn though. So they're on 11 here. If they attack with a Bone Crusher Giant, because they know they've got an answer to Sorin as well. I don't know. It's tough. I think we could be in a lot more trouble here if they'd gone with the Bone Crusher attack and then like not shown us the kill stuff for Sorin until afterwards and stuff. I think we can do. We have to be really afraid of Reckless Rage, of Monstrous Rage as well. And so yeah. There's Monstrous Rage on the Etching or the Monstrous Spear with trade with the Vein Ripper. And so you can bluff attack fairly well. That still pushes damage through, even if you end up taking 2 overall. But yeah, there we go. Alright, 2-1 overall. It's possible that I played it like there's a couple of places in the Esper match where maybe I played like optimized a little better, but it's hard to play around everything. Deck is really solid. I think if you want to play Dredge, this is a really strong way to go. Not only do you get the surprise factor of Sorin Vein Ripper, but it also shores up some of the other things. What I did talk about in the kind of like deck tech part about like how it's good post board as well, kind of shutting, like you're not completely shut off the graveyard hate with this. Like Recipe still hurts a bit, but you have this like show and tell plan you can kind of default to. If your opponent mulligans with graveyard hate, they can get into trouble with this. And on the flip side of that, you can also board into things like Thoughtseize, Duress, Spell Pierce versus some of the controlling decks that'll bring in like non-creature based graveyard hate, and things like Fatal Push versus creature decks where you want to kill things like Thalia that'll slow you down and stuff like that. And if you're, and then I tend to play Leonins of the Void as our graveyard hate with things like Greasefang. If you're interested in wanting to play sideboard stuff. I also wanted to talk a bit about the differences between Dredge and Pioneer and Dredge in Explorer. Not that Dredge is putting up any numbers in Pioneer at all, but I talked about breaking and entry before. Really solid. And replaces like Tygam Scheming here. And then you also have Tome Scout, which can replace Murphy Secret Keeper. That's just 5 cards instead of 4. It's pretty much just like a straight upgrade. The Otherworldly Gaze is still great. Without the Tygam Scheming, you have less ways to filter for your combo, but I think it's still worth doing. Scheming itself is like not a good card, shall we say? And so like taking like, hey, we'll play the Breaking and Enterings with the Founding, which is like the best thing you could do. You then get to flash back the Breaking for another 8 cards. It's really strong. And a lot of the Gazes still help you kind of like find the Sorin Vein Ripper stuff as an alternate angle the deck has. And so hey, I think it's good in both. It's Pioneer season at the moment. I don't have Vein Ripper Sorins in paper. I'll probably be playing Red or Heroic or something like that. So I have a couple of. I always have a Dredge build of the sleeves. I do have a Dredge deck sleeved over there somewhere. But hey. Alright, hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think as well. And yeah, please do like, subscribe, share the video around to anyone you think you might enjoy it. And yeah, thanks for watching. Peace out.